and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence. In this classic review, we're going to be taking a look at the G.I. Joe, a real American hero, Xamot and Tomax, the Crimson Twins, the owners of extensive enterprises. There is so much that people can say about this, and yes, these are not my original. They could be. I don't know. No, actually the ones that I had were actually pretty destroyed. I have acquired these over and over the years and jettisoned a whole bunch. I've had so many of their guns that it's actually kind of crazy. But anyway, we're going to take a look at these figures. These are probably going to be the only two that I do as a pack rather than separate. Even stuff that was a 3-pack or stuff like that. And that's because they're just mirror images of each other, other than the scar on Xamot's face. So we're going to take a look at this, go over the design. I think everyone absolutely loved these figures. They were awesome. They had their own subsector, the Crimson, they were the Crimson Twins because of the Crimson Guards. Those were like their unit. So anyway, we're going to take a look at this. Tell me a story. Seriously, one of the best packaging. Unfortunately, I don't have one in the package. The mirror package, if you remember. I mean, going to, whether it be service merchandise, Toys R Us, Kmart, Children's Palace, anyone that had this, like this was the one when it sat up there on the pegs, it just looked amazing. But anyway, let's get into this. But before we do, if you like this type of content, please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a classic review. All right, here we are, Xamot and Tomax, the Crimson leaders, the Crimson Twins, the owners of extensive enterprises, whatever you want to call them. But we're going to take a look at these, and like I said, we're going to do these two together because they are mirror images of each other than the scar. So quickly, we'll take a look at the accessories first. And I've had so many of these guns, it's crazy. But let's first start off with this right here. Here's your little pulley. I forget what this thing is called. Now, this is not my original. A matter of fact, I've never opened this. And you know how I know I've never opened this? Because it's tied here. So whoever I acquired this off of, I don't remember if I bought it, they tied the rope to it. I was actually thinking about, when I was trying to think of how I'm going to do this, should I start off the video and have them sliding across one of these? But then I thought, there's no way in hell I'm going to risk snapping one of their thumbs to put it on here and then swing it across the living room. But anyway, has this nice long string. Again, as long as it can be, but many of us had other strings. And we tie it from one side of the living room to the other, and we have them go straight down. I don't know why I can't think of it, but, but through the pulley system. Again, someone's going to go, oh my God, this is what it is. But here's the detail on it. It's got some nice little handles to it. It's meant to look like it's a pulley. It doesn't. It just works off friction there. You can even see where they made it look like the spool is supposed to be. So anyway, there's that. Then we get to these guns. Now, I'm going to say the guns that came with the classified version is one of my favorite guns. But I really wish they would have redone these because these were so iconic. This is the one Star Wars looking weapon that I loved because they're extensive enterprises. They're doing their own thing. So quickly looking at this, I always assumed this was some sort of laser pistol. It's got the big scope up top. It's got the big giant grip. I don't think I need a grip that big. I could actually probably use this for classified, to be honest. This one does have a trigger guard. All right. It's got that nice little, again, kind of going with these, with the futuristic look right here. But when you look at the triangle, kind of reminds me of the Predator shoulder cannon, but it has a little tip right here for the barrel. And then on the back, or I guess the base of it, you can actually see how this sits. Now this actually looks like maybe this piece comes off, and it's supposed to be a shorter weapon. But all in all, a really fun weapon, but looks stupid on anyone other than these figures. All right, so quickly, this is Tomax, this is Xamot. Xamot has the scar. I always like Tomax more. It's kind of stupid to even say they're the exact same figures, but Xamot always seemed to be the smarter, the leader of the two. So we'll quickly take a look at Tomax, and then we'll compare the two. So looking here, he has that very nice stylized haircut that so many females have today that people want to call Karen. I never noticed that. But even has like the little dip right here. So they pretty much eliminated his ears. They have no ears. I guess there's maybe an earlobe down there. His eyes, he's got the nice cool looking eyebrows that go up there. Little dot for the eye. And then on the top just a little bit of paint. You see the smirk that he has and the nice nose. So he has the shoulder guard on one side, in which his brother has the other. And we'll talk about that in a second. He's sporting a nice shirtless, a nice sleeveless shirt, but it has the pauldron over here, so he is protected on this side. So you kind of figure out how these two always stood next to each other. All right, but I always like this. I never understood it, but I thought it was super cool. And then you have the Cobra, the silver Cobra logo right here. Then a nice little sash that wraps around. Okay, so if you do put a backpack on, you can say, hey, that's what's holding the backpack onto him. You can see the little rivets right here, just giving it some sort of texture. And then his bare arms, and then they have nice gloves. As we get down to his crotch area, you're going to get a snake right there. I think that's a snake. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just, it looks like, it looks kind of like the Cobra, but now that I'm looking at it, I don't think that it is. But he has his little, his protection cup on the outside. It wraps all the way around, and you have this red and the silver. And I think the paint looks really good. The color scheme of this is absolutely awesome. All right. So there you have the silver all the way around it, and then you have like this padding going right into his pistol and the holster. You got the Cobra snakes right here. And then they go into his knee pads. And I mentioned this before. I loved knee pads. I don't know why. There's just something about the knee pads and the way they stuck up. I thought it was pretty cool. I think it actually made them sit on one knee a little bit better. They didn't fall over nearly as easy. Get down to his boot, which is all silver. And then you got the nice knife sitting right there. And then once again, you got the red right throughout here, and it really looks like this is some sort of shin guard, like it kind of goes over the boot. All right, and obviously they do have the pegs right there. Now as for the articulation, which I just realized I forgot to go over with the with the Crimson Guard, they can look down at this point and they can't really look up. They can look side to side. A wonderful T-pose. They swivel at the shoulder. You're just over 90-degree elbow bend, and then your swivel arm battle grip right there. They can kind of move side to side and around. This is what the O-ring is. I can tell this one's actually getting loose, but he's still decent. I don't do the Jean-Claude Van Damme anymore because I don't want to risk breaking the crotch, but we definitely want to make sure that they can sit up in the 90-degree because this is how they're going to be sitting in stuns and different things like that. There you have your knee bend right there. All right, now as for the two of these figures, the only thing that is different is the scar there on Xamot's face. But if you don't know, and I don't know how you wouldn't if you're watching this, they are mirrors of each other. All right, so everything is the exact opposite. So you can't mix and match these figures. If you were to put the wrong legs on them, guess what? You'd be able to tell right away, as the guns are on the outside, where the shoulder pauldrons are, and the knives are on the inside. Now, again, maybe you want to mix and match them. Maybe that's how you did it. You're like, I think this just looks cooler. Then, hey, that is for you to decide. Ooh, quickly. Wow, you know what? I didn't even notice that he has... What the hell is that? They both have something on the opposite hand, and I'm not sure what that is. It almost looks like it's like two little laser guns. If someone knows exactly what that is, I guess I didn't even notice it. I was too busy just kind of looking at the other one. Yeah, so they both have it. It's the exact same thing. Maybe it's a communication device. I don't know. But for me, they always had the gun on the side of the pauldron. And again, you can do whatever you want. And then when they stood behind Cobra Commander or Destro or whoever, they were always going to be like this to protect their necks from any type of swords. Yeah, I said it. Anyway, there you go. There are your Crimson Twins. And look, I got Crimson Guards right behind it. We got a nice little ferret over here. All right, so there you go. That is the look at the the Crimson Twins, Xamot and Tomax. Tell me a story. Did you have these? Did Grandma and Grandpa get this? Was this considered like, hey, you get 2 figures or you get that 1 pack? I don't know. It's kind of a good trade-off, although they were the same. The story, the lore, when one got hit, the other one felt it, and stuff like that was super cool because we all know the stories of a lot of twins that say, hey, you know what? I can sense when my other half is feeling pain or in trouble. This made it even better because one got punched and the other one would literally get knocked down. It was pretty funny. But anyway, tell me a story. If you had these, did you like these? Maybe you hated these figures and you're like, no way I'm getting these. But I thought the Crimson Guard was really awesome. Anyway, your story. I want to hear it, but before we do, you stayed a little bit. You spent some time with me. You stayed this long. Take a second. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a classic review. Now, don't go anywhere. You're like, dude, how can you do those and not do the Crimson Guard? Well, the Crimson Guard's right up here, and down here will be a playlist of all the classic reviews that I've done. Take care.